What's up guys? Welcome to the channel, welcome back to the channel. This is Living in Morris County. Are you considering a move to Mendham, New Jersey, but aren't quite sure if this historic town is going to be the right fit for you? Well, you're in luck because today I go through the 5 pros and the 5 cons of living in Mendham, New Jersey. This is based off of my experience with living in this area for most of my life, and also I asked 3 of my friends who live in Mendham, and some of them have kids, so they went to the schools, played the sports, and they give me their opinions as well. So make sure you stay tuned to the end to see if the pros and cons in this list are going to make you want to move to Mendham or run for the hills. So let's go! My name is Kevin Saum. Each week I bring you videos about moving to or around Morris County and the surrounding areas. So if that's why you came here today, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and you'll be sure to get more content like this each and every week. I'm also a licensed real estate agent in the state of New Jersey, and I help people move to Mendham and towns all around it every single day. So if you're thinking about making a move to Morris County, make sure you give me a call or shoot me a text, the number popping up below, and I'll be sure to help you out. To kick off today's video, I want to quickly describe the layout of the town of Mendham. Essentially, there's a township and a borough. The township is like an upside down horseshoe, and the borough kind of fits into that upside down horseshoe. I'm going to be talking about both sections of town in different parts of this video today, but I'm going to start off in the borough section with a point that can be considered either a pro or a con depending on how you look at it. When I drive through town, ride my bike around the hills of Mendham, or just walk in town, I get this feel of like it's a very cute, quaint town. Again, that's my opinion, and with that, just to kind of paint the picture, in addition to the B-roll that you're gonna see, you only have Old 24 as like kind of your major highway running through town, and if you go to the west, that brings you to Chester. If you go east, it brings you to Morristown, and this is just a 2-lane road. So many wouldn't even consider this to be a highway at all. To further paint that picture, there's been a little kind of town divided type thing going on with the addition of a Dunkin' Donuts on Main Street, and then the proposal for Backer Farm Brewery. And when I ride my bike through town, through the different back roads, I see signs all over the place with, we want Dunkin' Donuts or we don't want Dunkin' Donuts. And same thing goes with the Backer Farm Brewery. It seems like people are very for adding new business to the town, and other ones are just very against it. And I think that's partially because they're trying to keep that kind of quaint, historic feel to the town. Along those lines, there is a historic district within the borough of Mendham. And I actually had a friend that lived in this section of town, and he mentioned that when he tried to change the front door on his house, he had to get approval from the town in order to do that. This could be a pro or a con. If you're trying to do a lot of work on your house and you live in this historic section, this could be a little bit of a headache trying to make sure that you're adhering to the kind of historic look and feel of the house. This could also be considered a pro just because you know that the same rules apply to your neighbor as well. So you know that you're gonna have a consistent look and feel as you live there for many years. The last point that I'll make is that actually in the township of Mendham, there's a little section called Brookside, and in this section of town, they actually don't deliver the mail. You have to go to the Brookside post office to pick up your mail. And from what my friend described who lives in this section of town, and if you look on the reviews online with the Brookside post office, there's like a million amazing reviews about the family that runs this post office, and it's like they are family. So if you like that feel, that could be a great thing. If you don't want to have to drive somewhere to get your mail, that could be a horrible thing. So I just wanted to paint the picture for kind of that cute quaintness, and you can figure out for yourself if that's something that you want or don't want. Our next pro for living in Mendham, New Jersey is the proximity to Chester and Morristown. Now this kind of stems from con to living in Mendham, and that's if you drive through downtown, it's kind of lacking in restaurants and shopping. Now you've got the Black Horse, Dante's, the Wicker Basket, there's a pizzeria, but my friend who lives in the borough has 3 boys. She says that when you're looking for that late night takeout option, it's very difficult in Mendham. The pro is that you're only 12 minutes away from Chester and 12 minutes away from Morristown, both of which have endless options when it comes to shopping and restaurants. And at this point, you can always do Uber Eats or DoorDash and have that food delivered right to your doorstep. So could be a pro, could be a con, I'll let you decide. Our next pro on our list for Mendham, New Jersey also comes from my friend Lisa with the 3 boys in the borough. And Lisa actually moved to Mendham from New York City, And one of the things that she loves is the safety of the town. She feels safe enough to let her boys, ride their bikes around the neighborhood and to go grab a sandwich from the wicker basket. And she even mentioned that the police officers know her kids by name, not because they get in trouble, just because of how tight-knit the community is. And when I'm driving up and down Main Street, I'm always seeing kids, going for runs after school on the sidewalk, walking their dogs, riding their bikes. So that actually is something that's specific to the borough. If you live in the township, you're probably going to be either training for the Tour de France or pushing your bike up a hill more than you're actually riding the bike. So if you want a place where you can actually ride a bike to things, you're going to want to live in Mendham Borough. In addition, Mendham has historically been ranked in the top 100 safest small towns according to Safewise.com. A con to living in Mendham, New Jersey, I would say, is the school traffic. So between the hours of 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. and then 2:30 p.m. and 3 p.m., there's significant traffic on that 2-lane road I mentioned, Old 24, and there's really not a ton of options to get around it. So you just have to take that into account in your morning and afternoon commutes to make sure that you're not going to be late to whatever errand you're running or if you're going to work. Speaking of those schools, that's another pro for living in Mendham, New Jersey, and that's top-rated schools. According to niche.com, both Hilltop Elementary and Mountain View Middle School are both A-rated schools, and West Morris Mendham High School has an A+ rating. A potential con to living in Mendham could be the higher home prices in comparison to surrounding towns. In October of 2022, you have a median home sale price in Mendham Township of about $1.3 million, and in Mendham Borough about $740,000. Just for some comparison, in towns like Chester, you have a median home sale price of about $930,000, Randolph $725,000, and Long Valley $720,000. With those higher home prices also comes higher taxes, and Mendham Township and Mendham Borough are number 2 and number 3 in the highest taxes in Morris County. In Mendham Township, you can expect to pay an average property tax of about $20,000 on an $895,000 home, and in Mendham Borough, you can expect to pay an average property tax of about $16,000 on a $693,000 home. So that's also where I come into play to see if some of these surrounding towns might be a better fit for your budget, and I'm an expert in all these areas as well. As I mentioned, I grew up in this area. I live in Randolph, so I know these places like the back of my hand. You knew I couldn't get through a video without talking about the Parks and Rec. And that leads me to my last pro for living in Mendham, New Jersey for today, and that's the outdoor recreation opportunities. I counted 24 hiking trails with maps on hikemendham.org, and a lot of these trails actually link up to the Randolph trails that I go on a lot. And my favorite thing about these trails is that there's no one on them. If you go to Jockey Hollow or Lewis Morris Park, you're gonna have a lot of people walking past you, while you're out there. On the Randolph trails and these trails in Mendham, there's really not that many people. I rarely see other people out there on them. So if you're really looking to get away, these are great options. In addition, everyone that I've talked to who lives in Mendham talks about the Labor Day Parade and Carnival. And they've got rides, food, games, and prizes, and also fireworks. And everyone talks about how amazing this event is in town. Lastly, I looked at the list of all the youth sports options in town. So there's plenty of great options for outdoor activities for kids and adults alike. A con to living in Mendham, and I still consider it a con, it's getting close to not being a con, is the commuting. You're still looking at about an hour drive to New York City without traffic, 2 hours with traffic, and there are 3 different train options that you're kind of close to, which is almost pushing it to be a pro. And that's the Glasgow station, which gets you to New York Penn Station in a little under 2 hours. Then you've got the Burnsville train station, which is about an hour and 15 minutes to New York Penn Station. And then lastly, the Morristown train station, which is about an hour to New York Penn Station. So depending on where you live in Mendham, you can kind of pick and choose and figure out which train option is your best option if you are making that New York City commute. And just to remind you, as we wrap up this video, I am a licensed real estate agent in the state of New Jersey, and as much as I like making these videos, I like giving more help with those real estate needs. So the number popping up below, feel free to give me a call or shoot me a text. I'd be glad to help you out in any way that I possibly can. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time.